We'll go ahead and bring this Board of Works meeting to order. We're both of you given a chance to read the minutes from the previous meeting, which was held on 12/6.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay. All right. Carrie, you want to come up? I don't know what that means. Mic's probably not on yet, is it? Kurt, you didn't turn that mic on yet, did you?
I didn't turn it on either. Cool.
Thank you, Carrie.
You need a pen?
Yeah.
Here I got some.
There's usually a couple up here.
Not a pen.
All right. Oh, can't be. Wow, fancy pen.
Alright, so I need to purchase another pump. There is a pump at Cross Creek. Like I said last time, there's 2 pumps in each lift station. There's one in Cross Creek that has a seal fail. That means it may last weeks, it may last years. I really don't know. But I just recently I had purchased a pump in July. Was told today that it'll arrive in April. So we're talking 9 months. That was a specific style of pump. This one is a little bit more readily available. They say approximately 8 weeks. But given the nature of all of the issues we had last council and Board of Works meeting, I was trying to get ahead of it. So I've got 2 quotes for a barn pump. This style of pump requires a wedge adapter, so that's why it's a little bit more expensive than the last. First quote is from American Pump and Repair for $14,328. And the other one is from Parks Enterprise, which is $16,237. This is the Cadillac of pumps at a Chrysler price.
Say that again?
They said this was the Cadillac of pumps at a Chrysler price. We have purchased enough pumps that they are giving us this one that is all sorts of bells and whistles to it.
And we're talking about the American Pump one?
Correct. Well, both pumps are the exact same, quotes from 2 different companies for the exact same pump with the wedge adapter.
Okay.
Again, just trying to get ahead of any potential problems when that one decides to fail.
Looks like the American Pump is quite a bit cheaper.
It is.
They're both barns, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Exact same pump. Companies quoted it.
How many pumps do we have?
We have 15 lift stations. Most of them have 2, some of them have 4, one has 6. So it's a lot of them.
They're probably not all the same either, are they?
It depends on when they were put in. At the bottom, this one says it'll pump 325 gallons per minute and a 28 total dynamic head. So that's how far it has to lift it up. The one last meeting was, I think it was 325 gallons per minute and a 61 head. So they're all different. They're all different styles. A lot of it depended upon when the lift station went in, to what was the most economical at the time. I was able to do a Peller. I have a spare pump for Gilchwood because that one was really critical due to all the volume of water. When we have rain events out there, we did have a spare for that. And I was, knowing that that lift station is going to be part of the sewer district, we were able to take that brand new pump, put a different impeller on it, and we'll be able to use it at 2 other lift stations. It won't pump the greatest capacity, but it will pump something in the event that there's a failure at a couple other lift stations.
Is the old pump that we have in there that failed, is it junk or can you rebuild it?
It has got a seal fail, so it's still running, but it's just a matter of how long it will run. And then when it does fail, it depends on the age of the pump, whether it's even worth replacing it, or excuse me, doing a repair.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't have any warranty, the expense for repairing something without a warranty is just, you'd be better off getting a new one.
Okay. That we take care of, buy the pump from American Pump and Repair.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Then you have the trailer to talk about?
Yes, there was a trailer purchased, I don't even know when, many years ago, that was supposed to be to put lawnmowers on to mow the south and stuff in the other lift stations. Our lawnmower doesn't fit on it. It has no use for the trailer, so I would like to get the board's approval to put it out for notice of sale via bid like we're doing for the Jeep. I've checked with other department heads. The police took it for a day, but then they brought it back.
They didn't need it or didn't fit
They
their...
had a different opportunity for a newer trailer, so they went that direction. Sewer District was slightly interested, but when I asked them about it, they said that it wasn't going to be the need, so.
So you'll have a Jeep and a trailer to take bids on?
And the new vehicle was ordered in May. You guys granted me permission to sell the Jeep,
Right.
notice of sale or whatever in the paper. So that is ready to go as soon as Phyllis gets that done. And so I thought, well, maybe just have the trailer there and they can come with it out of the Philly Square plant. Maybe they'll have a two for them.
Hook it to it and say it goes with it.
Yeah. Good idea. I don't know if we want to do that.
Hitch might be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any real value associated with it? It likely needs to be declared surplus property in order for it to be sold. So CRW would essentially make a motion to declare the trailer surplus property and allow it to be sold at auction or by bid, and then allow Carrie to move forward with prepping the description and getting the legal notice in the paper for the time to accept bids.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Thank you.
Jeff, come on up. He's asking for approval to send a new fire department candidate to PERF.
Over the last month, we have whittled candidates down from about 12 to 4. We've had 2 interviews with 4 candidates, and we've narrowed it down to 1 at this time. I'd like to get approval to send PERF for his visit.
And just so you guys know, he had they had interviews with the department in which I was involved, and then I couldn't be here for the next one, but they had what they call peer interviews. So they brought other firemen from where they were.
There was one from the chief from Portland, battalion chief from New Haven or East Central, and then a captain from Southwest Fire District.
And I think it's good that they do that because sometimes the guys are on our paid on call, and we already have formed opinions on them, things like that. So they bring in these chiefs or assistant chiefs from other departments and allow them to interview them too, and they just sit and watch while they do it. So.
Make a motion for you to move forward with sending them to PERF. I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay. Kurt.
Brett.
And Brad. The dynamic duo.
All right, this is for 1034 Parkview. Not anybody from Texas here, so. USDA is listed as the property owner. care of Mortgage Contracting Services, Highland Drive in Louisville, Texas. So this house is sitting out there. It's empty. On September 26th, we got a complaint of rubbish, holes in the roof, and weeds and vegetation. The tarp is currently covered with roofs that the roof is covered with tarps that are failing and tearing away. On that same day, 9/26, a notice was mailed first class and certified mail to the property owner. On 11th, we were back out there, found no change at the residence. On October 13th, same thing, first class letter mailed and also mailed certified. November 4th, we were out there for code enforcement and also found nothing, no progress, no change. December 2nd, we were out there with no change. On the 6th, a notice was sent to appear before Board of Works on tonight's date, sent by first class mail and certified mail.
Could go back to that picture. What is that?
Shed.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's a shed out back?
That's a shed.
Pretty fancy shed at one time.
Huh, yeah.
It probably was nice.
When they first did it.
So we were back out there this morning, and those pictures are from, well, those are probably not from today because they're still green, but we have current pictures from today, and there's no change.
Do we know where the taxes are on this?
No, I do. This house is one that Rod Rankberger tried desperately to get a hold of.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Soto?
This is, yes, this is a frustrating one.
This has been going on for a couple years now.
So we
You
do
see up
dimmer.
here, we got critters crawling in underneath some of this stuff.
Have you had any response from the
There's been nothing.
in the USDA? It was a loan?
The different banks talk like they don't own it, and paperwork on the door is what this is listed as, so. We've done code enforcement at the residence to the south of this place, and they took a little while, but they cleaned up and got where they need to be. So now they're living with this, so it just needs to be taken care of.
So we really don't know who the rightful owner is.
It went through
Not
foreclosure.
100%.
My understanding is it went through foreclosure and had been subject to tax sale even. But I don't know if it actually went through. And if it did not, then USDA would still be the record owner as the mortgage holder.
It needs
But it's
knocked down.
Hmm.
At the time, efforts were were made to get them into the flood buyout program, and Rod really went out of his way to bend over backwards to make it happen, and didn't get a lot of
there were different family members, and right?
originally there were different family members that had the resident of the home had passed away. It was supposed to go to the heirs. It went into foreclosure, into tax sale, and USDA drug their feet, and it's been left in this condition for several years. That's my understanding.
I guess. What are our options?
Motion tear it down.
We still have to go through the proper...
Moved excavators.
Yeah. Probably direct me to communicate with USDA and force them to try and force their hand to either tear it down themselves or clean it up, make necessary repairs. But
Department of Agriculture, is that what it is?
I don't
yeah,
know what the inside of the house looks like. We haven't been in it.
I hope that no one has to see it.
It's as bad as the outside. Well, if the inside is as bad as the outside, it needs torn down.
So I guess we needed to have Ian.
We need to have Ann
Push-
write a
push
letter and
forward.
say it's going to be tore down in 30 days if they don't respond.
we can't just do that. But you can provide me a directive that says that fines, that you've been notified, you've been given an opportunity to be present, you failed to appear, we're going to assess fines because these are significant code violations, unsafe, the accumulation of rubbish. What are the actual violations that have been assessed?
Excessive weeds and vegetation, accumulation of rubbish.
Dilapidated building.
Okay.
Animal habitation.
Yeah.
So Brad, I'll take the file, but I mean we're essentially threatening to assess fines against a federal government agency.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well. Tell them there's a deadline.
If it's done, we'll go with other agencies too. We'll pick out the
Yeah,
bottom.
sure. So moved.
Okay.
Okay, so $100 a day, starting
100?
7. I mean,
Is that what we normally do?
It's been going on since September.
right. I think we give them a week after they receive the letter.
Yeah, we've been doing about 100 a day
Just keep it normal with what we have and
per
see where
violation.
Ian can get with the letter.
Oh, he says per violation. So that could be about 5. Ta-da.
Okay.
So is that
It's
good?
just a threat.
I mean, it's up to 5,000. I mean, we're capped at.
It stops
It stops at $5
at
grand.
$5,000. So.
You can do $100 per day, cover everything, doesn't matter.
And we can't give a date that it'll be torn down until we have a or lack thereof.
I'll have to review the code, but I mean, if it's not addressed and there's no additional action, then it would move toward condemnation proceedings.
Okay. So how about a motion that's $100 a day, 7 days after they receive it, with whatever language she wants to put in that leaning towards the condemnation.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
So, can I condemn it now?
Well, yeah, why couldn't he?
I mean,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It should be based on unsafe building law, let alone our code violations, our ordinance violations. So, it's frankly not safe for anyone to enter into the structure. So,
Wouldn't that be a little bit better for us to say that we've condemned the building and that we have this much time?
Include that in your letter, that we have condemned the building, and we'll put the placard up there.
okay.
This way they've been notified.
Do we need a motion that says we
Do
we have to approve the condemnation tonight?
I don't think
He
we
has authority
that's
to.
Okay.
I didn't want to move too quick. She started talking about condemnation, and that's when the question popped in.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to move forward with the letter being sent, and 7 days after they receive it, $100 fines daily, and he's going to go ahead and condemn it currently. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay. Thank you.
Neighbors will be happy.
Huh?
Neighbors will be happy.
That's the only one you have?
Yeah, that's the only one I have.
All right.
Can you get the HDMI floor?
Yep.
Should we let Ron know that?
Set it up.
Have you throw?
Yeah. Why did that off?
I'll send them all email.
It's not going off, Kurt. I can't hit room off because
You can't?
that'll shut everything. That'll shut the recording off.
All right, leave it on till
Oh, it does?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how. I hit it and it's going.
There you go.
It comes right back on. But
Kurt,
thank
do
you.
you want me to
There it went.
send the condemnation notice? Do you want me to include that within the letter?
Yeah.
Just say here is notice of,
I'll have Aaron type up the condemnation letter in the morning, and then
Okay.
I'll have her scan it over to you.
okay,
And you can just include it.
sounds good.
Does the USDA want pictures and all that stuff too?
I I make it a habit to send the property owner all information, all legal notices.
Thank you, Kurt and Brad,
code violation
for all the work you guys have been doing in code
and
enforcement.
pictures that have
You're
been
doing a
collected.
heck of a job
So
cleaning
they
up the
essentially
city,
have
that's
a
for
copy
sure.
of our file when they
Thankless job, but we appreciate it, and so do the neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not easy.
Who has the lease agreement with the Decatur Force for the Merit Center? Do we have that?
I think,
I had it, I think, unless she's, if
I don't
someone
know
else
if
has
Jamie has
another
that,
original.
or,
I think Philip has it.
okay.
Someone has it.
Someone in this back.
I can get it if I need to.
And this is just a new contract because of a new year, right?
Yeah, it's technically started in December, but it's just a new lease for this year.
I'm going to kind of defer to Jamie on this one. It's just, my understanding is it's a straight renewal of their lease agreement.
Right.
And they rent the gym at various points throughout the week. And on some weekends, I've talked with Jamie about the need, knowing that King's Kingdom will eventually be moving into Merit Center, and the potential ways on how to address conflicts of use and time so that can be alleviated as early on as possible. But yeah, this would be a straight renewal, and Decatur Force has been running, I think, for 2 years. This is their
I think second.
full year.
Third year, yeah.
Or is it?
I thought they've been running for 2, but and this would be entering their third year. So
I'll make a motion to approve the lease with Decatur Force.
I'll second.
Okay. First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
no, and I'm sorry I didn't represent the rates, but it Monday through the week they rent at $20 an hour. Monday through Friday, and then if they hold tournaments or have practices on Saturdays or Sundays, it's $85 a day. So the way they rent is a little bit different because it's more PRN use.
Do we need to sign it?
Entertain a motion for...
A motion that Mayor Ricker to sign it.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Looks like they already signed.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right, now we have the Adams County Animal Control and Shelter Agreement from the county.
I have that. Another one.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Did you have a chance to talk to Mark Murray about this at all?
I'm sorry?
You didn't talk to Mark Murray about
I
it?
didn't get a chance
Okay.
to. The only question was, I had a couple questions, quick questions, if you don't mind covering them.
Okay.
Were the animals, are they found in the city limits of Decatur, or are they from the city limits of Decatur? They have the population broke down, the percentages. And I read the thing, but I didn't know if that was kind of spelled out.
Is it, so he's asking, is it, when they say it's Decatur or Monroe or in the county, is that where they find them at or where they belong to?
I don't have
When the last time they explained it, I think it was just,
where they originated from.
that's the
how-
percentage of what they want people to pay. I don't think it was where they found them at.
Well,
Well, it does say that it was kind of broken out by usage. And
Yes.
so 34% of the use of the animal shelter derived from the city of Decatur. And so 50% of expenses that would be allocated among the various communities within Adams County, 34% of that would be Decatur's responsibility because we use that percentage of their services are needed 34% of the time because of Decatur animals. Where they originate from or where they belong, I'm not I'm not clear.
That's what my question was, is that how are we getting monitor on this?
Yeah.
Is it where they pick the animal up? Is it where if they find the homeowner or the person that owns the animal, if it's not just a stray? If it's returned to that, how do we move that needle on it? Because next year, if the county, Adams County's big, we're small. I don't even know how that works
So
out.
you're saying, is the percentage going to ever change, or is it supposed
Right.
to stay at
On seeded funds, we're based on population. If this is based on population, I'd like to know if it was population of dogs that are, where are you going to drop a dog off? If it's going to be not in your family anymore.
Right.
You're going to take it to the city because they're going to go fed. You're not going to drop it up Ohio. You're out on state line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my only question is that do we have a running total on the annual?
Does it ever get updated?
Yeah. And then how is it formulated? Is it off of population or is it off of
Is this a new
lost and found dogs?
It's an annual contract, and so next year it looks like it's not auto-renewing. It looks like it's subject to adjustment next year, and those are valid questions and things that we could discuss and ask for clarification. I have no idea how it was determined that Decatur uses 34% of.
Okay. Well, I think that it's necessary. I don't want the thing not to happen. I think that if you would get some clarification, if it's a moving target that we can budget for each year, because I don't think we had an opportunity to budget for it this year, did we?
Well, I encumbered it when they came in and presented it in 21. I encumbered the money because they said they were going to bill us the 35%. So I encumbered it. So I did pay it in this council meeting and it says it's effective through 23, December 31st of 23. So that should cover us for a whole year. So in 24, we needed to decide when we do our budget for 24 how much we want to budget.
John, did you have a comment?
Just a question. Where are the stats? Who did you get the stats from?
Stan Stoppenhagen.
They were provided by a letter from the Adams County Commissioners, a breakdown of the percentages for each of the communities.
Well, I'll ask them where they got it. Not disputing it, just if we have to figure out, on the county side, we have to figure out allocating percentages.
I think it was Stan and Mark Burry came together.
Yeah, I sat on that committee. And I just remember they brought in numbers saying that this is where all the animals. It was from the last animal shelter when they had it. That was their, whatever year this was developed, it was the prior year, all their animals, that was the numbers they had. So I don't know if it's where they originated, where the animals lived, where they picked them up. I'm not sure. It's a good question, though.
Well, my only thing would be, I'd be happy to make a motion to go ahead and take care of this year's, but I would also like to have Ann ask some questions on what's this
future.
How do we decide the percentage that the city of Decatur pays, and is it, give us the qualifications that line up a dog for the city of Decatur or a pet animal, and then I would also in that motion give Dan the opportunity to sign that so we can get through it with the clarification that Ann could get from the committee.
So I just kind of want to clarify, you are introducing a motion to approve the interlocal cooperation agreement for animal care and control services that's presented now and authorize Dan to sign it for the coming year. That's your initial motion, and then as a part of that, there are questions about allocating costs. Do you want to break it down into one
just
motion?
how do we? I can't.
Just make one motion maybe for approval and authorization to sign.
Okay, approval and then authorization signed by the mayor with clarity on the specifics of the actual animals. Give us the clarity on the,
Could we also find out how many runs they make? Do we get charged for that, or like every time a dog catcher is called to Decatur and they don't find a dog?
Well, it's
No,
more than a
this-
dog catcher too. That's what's
This is an
fuzzy
annual
about
fee.
this. Is what animals will they accept? That I've heard so many different stories,
I know. And I think...
and I've asked the question, and I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just
This is a very generic cost-sharing agreement that says that we are providing 34% of 50% of the overall cost, which is assessed at $60,000 on an annual basis. And that is for Mr. and Mrs. Heiser to build and operate a facility adjacent to their property north of Monroe. It does not list or specify any specific animals, or
it doesn't.
it doesn't describe the nature and extent of their services, or really outline much of what's entailed, or the benefits and use that the city has by participating in this agreement. But if we don't, we don't have anywhere to take stray animals.
Right,
Yeah.
but I've heard that they don't accept certain things.
We can, I'll add that to my list of questions.
Well, do we have to approve it tonight, though? I mean, we've already,
You actually approved, you did approve back on November 21st to pay the first $10,000, whatever it is, $10,200.
Yeah, so we approved it to pay this year. We paid. This is
through next year.
Pays us through next year. So
That's
this
what the
is-
agreement says, through December 31st of 23.
It's effective January 1 through December 31 of 23. So this would cover all of next year, and then we have, the next several months to get clarification and maybe build on the agreement to get a better understanding of exactly what services we're paying for.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really need a motion, though, do we? Because we've already approved to pay for it.
You've approved to pay for it, but you would still need to approve the agreement and authorize signatures. It's got signature lines for all of Board of Works members, and it would be subject to approval by council as well.
So the motion I made basically said we'll accept the contract and let Dan sign for it, and then, but I need to make another motion that
you're making that motion. I'll second that motion.
But it's actually all three of us sign, right?
Correct. It's just approval, a general motion to approve the contract and authorize signatures,
Okay.
subject to council approval. Because there's a line on here for city council approval as well.
Okay.
I'll second Craig's motion on that.
Okay. The motion is second to approve this agreement and go ahead and sign it based on council's approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Do I need to make another motion about clarity on the future?
Nope, I got that covered.
Okay.
Okay. So Ian will work. She has till next year.
Okay, this is for the animal shelter.
Okay. Sidewalk improvement quotes. Oh yeah, and Kurt also has a Mylar to sign for the Grey Goose subdivision. So is that Board of Works and Council? That Mylar?
Okay, so initially, for the two sidewalks, we have to encumber sidewalk money from this year to cover some of the contracts that were not fulfilled, just because of timing, concrete, so forth. We were going to have X amount of money left over.
Remember?
And we got in a little bit too late with the bids. We're going to try and encumber this money. We should have opened the bids at the last meeting, so we just got the bids this last week. So normally we always have money left over. This year is the 5th year I've done it, and we'll actually have
$14,958.35 left over. That is the lowest number I've had in 5 years I've done it. Before it's been around 25, $30,000 left over, about 50,000. So what we decided to do is next year we did pick 2 sidewalks. Dan and Jeremy found 2 sidewalks that they thought we desperately needed to put in. One of them was the northwest corner of Nutman and 5th Street, where there is actually no sidewalk, period. The sidewalk stops at that property and doesn't wander the corner. The other was down here between on 1st Street from Jackson to the alley, the old, right next to the old Myers Furniture.
It's an awful sidewalk. Yeah.
Basically, we collected bids from TG Concrete and Jerry Geimer. And I want to give these to Miss Ann, and she can open them up.
These are for both. These are for both. Okay.
Do you know where it is on 5th and Nutman?
What's that?
You know where it's at on 5th and Nutman, where there's no sidewalk right there?
Yeah.
All right. This is from TG Concrete for the sidewalk at 1st and Jefferson.
I thought he said Jackson.
Jefferson.
For a total
It's down
cost
there
of
by that.
$8,738.13, and that would be a total of 1,127.5 square feet of concrete.
What was that number again?
What was the quote?
From TG Concrete for 1st and Jefferson, a total of $8,738.13.
And that was TG.
That was TG Concrete, and then Jerry Geimer's quote for the same area for 1st and Jefferson is a total of $8,900. So TG Concrete would be the lowest bid on that. And then TG Concrete bid on the Nutman Avenue sidewalk. Is $4,650. And Jerry Geimer's bid is for $4,417.50. And Jerry Geimer has the low bid for the 5th and Nutman project, and TG Concrete has the low bid for, or the low quote for 1st and Jefferson.
Make a motion that we take it under advisement. Second.
Do we need to
Let them look them over and make a
let
recommendation.
them make a recommendation at the next meeting, or just
No,
make a
tonight.
decision?
They can make a decision.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second to allow them to take it under advisement and make a decision.
Who's making the decision?
You're making the recommendation.
Yeah, look at the quotes and make a recommendation. We'll pass it.
Oh, in this meeting, yeah?
Yeah, you can. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's always good to have you advise.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. You need everybody to sign that Mylar, right?
Board of Works and Mayor signed this Mylar for 3 new lots that are being added to reduce subdivision.
Myers on it, or?
And that has been in front of Plan
This has been in
Commission,
front
and
of
it's
Plan
been
Commission.
preliminarily approved, subject to BOW and council approval, so.
You said Grey Goose?
Grey Goose, State Section 2. Jim. Number. Who's chairman?
But
Give me a couple minutes.
we have one more. Jeremy's going to talk about a pickup truck. So, Jeremy, let's talk about a new pickup truck for the water department.
In our pickup truck inventory, we have several vehicles from the water department that range in mileage from about 180,000 all the way down to about 60,000. Kevin and I have been talking for the last couple months. It's been a little while since we bought a truck, and feel that it's time to replace another one. And potentially, probably by the end of the second quarter of 23, depending on what money's doing, potentially looking at purchasing a second one. I've been talking with Courtesy out here, and QPA pricing on a Ford regular cab, four-wheel drive pickup truck, a 22. It listed almost $50,000. We can buy it for $39,976. So my request is for $39,976.
And this is the water department.
Yes. We paid out of the water operating. Talked it over with Kevin. Kevin's okay with it. Knowing that we're going to have to buy a few more at some point. So we're just extended the life of these vehicles, and it's time to replace a few as we go.
Jeremy, what was the cost you said?
The final cost is $39,976. Starts out at almost $50,000. That's how much of a discount we get being municipal and buying off the state bid.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the truck purchase.
I'll say it.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Okay.
I just need to, I have a couple things that I got later. We just need to make the certificate of appointment a matter of record and oath of office for Nathan Hunter with voted to sergeant, third shift sergeant. I need you guys to sign that. Dan's already signed it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second for Nathan Hunter as third shift sergeant. All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay.
There are two over.
The other thing I have, and I don't, maybe council really needs to approve this, I don't know. But on our insurance, our liability and property insurance, we've been with Zurich for a couple years now. They came in with a lower bid a couple years ago. They haven't been the easiest with paperwork. So we had Gravers who is our agent, go in. EMC used to be our insurance carrier, and they reviewed everything and they gave us a quote too. EMC quoted $177,540 and Zurich quoted $181,696. The only difference is Graber's gave them all our building properties, and it was like at $81 million, and Zurich had it only at 64, but their bid still came in higher. So why they have less buildings, I have no clue. That's another issue with them. To ask them for a premium on if there's an item in our schedule, they can't provide that to us for some reason. So it was good to get the bids, but in the long run, I think it was best. It's better to go back with EMC. The only problem is their deductible's higher, but we really don't have that many claims on property. So it goes from, I think Zurich's had a $1,000 deductible on property, and theirs is $2,500. And for the inland marine, it goes from $500 to $1,000. So, but my recommendation is go back with EMC. But
what's the total cost of the policy?
EMC's is $177,540, and Zurich's is $181,696. And then I think Zurich's includes terrorism, where EMC doesn't. It would be an additional if we wanted it, and neither one have cyber liability, but EMC can provide that for an additional cost if we want that.
Do you know the additional cost for it?
For the cyber liability is $5,509.
So it's not a significant amount.
No, that's probably something we need to look into.
I agree.
Do we know, are we covered under the county's cyber liability?
I was thinking Mike helped me fill out some paperwork. We are to a point, but not everything.
Well, I thought that was why we had to put that cage in, because we were under his liability, and but maybe it wasn't.
I think it's because it's the network. We're on the network.
Yeah.
So that's what it's covered for. That's how I understood it anyway.
Well, it sounds like EMC is a lot easier to work with, and their premium's actually lower.
That makes
So,
sense.
Need a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go with the recommendation of Phyllis and get it from
You
EMC.
going to consider the additional liability insurance?
Do you guys want me to?
Can you look in to see what it
Which,
I'll Craig motion
Okay.
to move forward with PMC, but do we want to look into that? Cyber liability, or
I would think let's look into what it actually covers compared to what we're being offered from the county. I mean,
I think investigating it would
Right,
be a wise decision.
it doesn't seem to be that much more on a policy that's $177,000.
Right.
But
Okay.
it depends on what it covers.
Right. I have a motion and a second to go with EMC, as advised from Phyllis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
do you guys want the terrorism also covered?
We'll allow you to check into that and have Dan sign for it. That's okay. Do I need to make a second motion for that? And
It probably
How
wouldn't
much
hurt.
it-
I mean, it's not going to hurt.
I make a motion that Phyllis, you check into it for the terrorism insurance, and what was the additional liability then also?
Cyber
Or
liability.
cyber liability, and then with approval from
Terrorism.
Dan, have him sign for it.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Terrorism isn't quite the same, but
Nope. Yeah. Did you have
It'd
anything
be
else?
interesting to know
That
what
is it.
our limitations on liability are with our base coverage and see whether or not they almost cut out any kind of active terrorism as a covered event, almost requiring that kind of right or additional coverage. So it might be worth looking at the initial policy and determining what limitations are presented, and then see whether or not we need to take that into consideration.
I do have one more thing. Also, we're already with IPAP, that's our insurance workman's comp carrier. The policy this year is $62,233. Next year it's going to be $64,480, and that's usually calculated on our payroll. So if our payrolls go up, usually this goes up. Plus it goes on our experience too of how many claims we filed. So just want to kind of update you on that.
Okay. Nothing's getting any cheaper, is it?
No, of course not.
Do you have anything else for Board of Works?
No.
Anything from the Board of Works members? What's that?
Kirk.
Waiting on Kirk, yeah.
Alright, I've had a chance to look over all the bids. For First and Jefferson, I recommend that we use TG Concrete. They came in at the lowest bid of $8,738.13. And for Fifth and Nutman, my recommendation is Jerry Geimer. He came in with the lowest bid of $4,117.50.
I'll make a motion to move forward with Kurt's recommendations.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay.
Phyllis, do you need all the bids, copies, even the rejected ones? Do you need me to write reject on the ones, or?
Can, if you want, or I can do it. Don't
Okay.
matter.
All right, I'm gonna run copies, these copies, I'll get them to you tomorrow.
Perfect, thanks.
Thank you, Kirk. Okay. Nothing else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the Board of Works meeting.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay, start the council meeting in 10 minutes.